The massive alien ship descended from the sky, casting an ominous shadow over the United Nations headquarters in New York City. As it hovered silently above the East River, world leaders gathered in emergency sessions, their faces etched with a mixture of awe and fear. When the alien delegation finally emerged, they were a sight to behold. Towering beings with iridescent skin and multiple limbs, they moved with a fluid grace that belied their imposing stature. The leader, who introduced himself as High Commander Zix Nara, addressed the hastily assembled human representatives. People of Earth, Zix Nara's voice boomed, translated through an advanced device. We come to you with a proposition, as is our way when encountering new species. The silence in the chamber was palpable as the alien continued. Our civilization has thrived for millennia on a simple principle: the strong survive, and only the worthy are fit to be our allies. One Secretary General Maria Alvarez stepped forward, her voice steady despite the tension. And how do you determine who is worthy? Zix Nara's multifaceted eyes gleamed. Through combat, of course. One-on-one, unarmed battles to the death between our finest warriors and yours. A collective gasp rippled through the human delegation. Alvarez's face paled, but she maintained her composure. Surely there must be another way to prove our worth. There is not, Zix Nara stated flatly. We require a gauntlet of 100 fights. If your species emerges victorious in the majority, we will consider you worthy allies and share with you the secrets of the universe. If you fail, we will have no choice but to eliminate your kind as a potential threat. The room erupted in chaos as world leaders argued and protested. Some called for immediate military action, while others pleaded for negotiations. Amidst the uproar, U.S. President Samantha Chen raised her voice. And if we refuse to participate in this barbaric contest? Zix Nara's expression remained impassive. Then we will consider it an act of cowardice and hostility. The result would be the same as failure in combat. As the implications of the alien's words sank in, a heavy silence fell over the assembly. The choice was clear: participate in the alien's deadly game, or face certain annihilation. President Chen exchanged grim looks with her counterparts from other nations. Finally, she turned back to the alien delegation. We will need time to discuss this among ourselves and to select our champions, if it comes to that. Zix Nara nodded, a gesture eerily similar to a human's. You have 7 of your Earth days to prepare. We will return then for your answer and, should you choose wisely, the commencement of the gauntlet. As the alien delegation departed, leaving the human leaders to grapple with their impossible choice, one thing became crystal clear: the fate of humanity would be decided not by diplomacy or technology, but by the strength and skill of its fighters. The clock was ticking, and the greatest challenge in human history had just begun. The next 7 days were a whirlwind of global activity, as world leaders, military strategists, and martial arts experts convened in a series of emergency meetings. The debate raged on television screens and social media platforms worldwide. How should humanity respond to this unprecedented challenge? In a secure underground facility, President Chen addressed a room full of top officials and fighting experts. We need to select our finest warriors, but we also need to consider the ethical implications of sending people to their potential deaths. General Williams, a grizzled veteran, spoke up. Madam President, we have volunteers pouring in from every branch of the military. They understand the stakes. It's not just about military training, interjected Master Wong, a renowned martial arts expert. We need a diverse group of fighters representing various disciplines: boxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling, karate. We need them all. As the selection process began, controversy erupted. Some argued that using professional fighters or soldiers was tantamount to sending them to their deaths. Others insisted that it was the only way to ensure humanity's survival. Meanwhile, in dojos, gyms, and military bases across the world, potential candidates trained with a fervor bordering on desperation. The weight of the entire human race rested on their shoulders. On the 5th day, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Emily Sato, a leading expert in human physiology, presented her findings to the selection committee. We've been approaching this all wrong, she explained, her eyes bright with excitement. The aliens are likely adapted to their own planet's gravity and atmosphere. Earth's conditions might give our fighters a significant advantage. This revelation shifted the selection criteria. Now, they weren't just looking for the strongest or most skilled fighters, but those who could best exploit the potential weaknesses of their alien opponents. As the deadline approached, the final list of 100 human fighters was compiled. It was a diverse group of men and women from various countries, backgrounds, and martial arts disciplines. Some were decorated soldiers, others were champion athletes, and a few were relatively unknown masters of obscure fighting styles. On the eve of the aliens' return, President Chen addressed the world. "Tomorrow, we face a challenge unlike any in human history. But I have faith in our champions. They carry with them not just their own strength and skill, but the indomitable spirit of humanity." As she spoke, the 100 chosen fighters were being transported to a specially prepared facility. Among them was Jack Morrison, a former Special Forces operative turned MMA fighter. As he looked around at his fellow fighters, he felt a mix of pride and trepidation. "Ready for this?" asked Sofia Alvarez, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu world champion, as she sat down next to him. Jack nodded grimly. "Ready as we'll ever be." "For Earth." "For Earth," Sofia echoed, as the transport carried them towards their destiny. The stage was set. Humanity had made its choice. Now, all that remained was to face the alien challenge head-on, with the fate of the entire planet hanging in the balance. The massive alien arena materialized on the outskirts of Geneva, Switzerland, a structure of shimmering metal and pulsating energy fields. As the 100 human fighters filed into their designated area, they were met with the sight of their alien counterparts, hulking, multi-limbed beings that exuded an aura of raw power. High Commander Zix Nara's voice boomed across the arena. "Let the gauntlet commence. May the strongest prevail." The first human fighter stepped into the ring, Akira Tanaka, a seasoned judoka from Japan. His alien opponent towered over him, muscles rippling beneath iridescent skin. As the signal to begin echoed through the arena, the alien lunged forward with frightening speed. But Akira was ready. Using the alien's momentum against it, he executed a perfect throw, slamming his opponent to the ground with bone-crushing force. The alien, clearly stunned by the human's technique, struggled to regain its footing. Akira pressed his advantage, applying a chokehold that, despite the alien's strange anatomy, proved devastatingly effective. Within minutes, the alien lay motionless, and Akira was declared the winner. A hushed silence fell over the alien spectators, while the human delegation erupted in cautious cheers. The next fight showcased the diversity of human martial arts. Sarah Chen, a Wing Chun master, used lightning-fast strikes to overwhelm her alien opponent. Dmitry Volkov, a Sambo expert, employed brutal grappling techniques that left his extraterrestrial adversary battered and unconscious. As the day wore on, a pattern began to emerge. The human fighters, though physically outmatched in terms of raw strength, displayed a level of skill, adaptability, and tactical thinking that caught the aliens completely off guard. Jack Morrison's fight was particularly memorable. Faced with an alien nearly twice his size, Jack employed a mix of boxing, Muay Thai, and wrestling. He darted in and out, landing punishing blows and takedowns, always staying one step ahead of his increasingly frustrated opponent. The alien crowd watched in disbelief as Jack finally secured a submission victory, forcing his opponent to concede. By the end of the first day, humans had won an astounding 20 out of 25 matches. The alien delegation was visibly shaken, huddled in intense discussion as they tried to comprehend this unexpected turn of events. Among the human fighters, a sense of cautious optimism began to grow. Sofia Alvarez, still catching her breath after her victorious bout, turned to Jack with a grin. "We might actually have a shot at this," she said. Jack nodded, his expression serious. "We've made a strong start, but we can't get complacent. You can bet they'll be analyzing our techniques, trying to find weaknesses." As if to underscore his point, High Commander Zix Nara approached the human delegation. "Your warriors fight with unexpected proficiency," the alien leader admitted, a hint of respect in its multi-toned voice. "But do not celebrate yet. The true test is yet to come." As the fighters retired for the night, the world watched and waited with bated breath. The gauntlet had only just begun, and while humanity had drawn first blood, the battle for Earth's future was far from over. The aliens, nursing their wounded pride, began to realize that these humans were unlike any species they had encountered before. The coming days would determine not just the fate of Earth, but potentially the balance of power in the entire galaxy. As the gauntlet entered its third day, the atmosphere in the arena had shifted dramatically. The initial shock of the human fighters' success had given way to a palpable tension among the alien spectators. Their warriors, once confident and imposing, now approached each match with visible apprehension. The human fighters, on the other hand, were riding a wave of momentum. Their early victories had bolstered their confidence, and they entered each bout with a fierce determination that seemed to grow stronger with each win. Amidst the ongoing battles, one fighter in particular caught everyone's attention: Lena Okafor, a Nigerian kickboxer with a background in Dambe, a traditional African martial art. Her fight against a particularly aggressive alien became the talk of the arena. The alien charged at Lena with all 6 of its arms swinging, but Lena was ready. She ducked and weaved, her footwork impeccable, before unleashing a devastating series of strikes that left her opponent reeling. The alien crowd watched in stunned silence as Lena systematically dismantled her larger, stronger adversary with a combination of precision strikes and unorthodox techniques. As Lena stood victorious, High Commander Zix Nara turned to his advisors. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Their physical attributes are inferior to ours, yet they continue to prevail." One of the alien scientists spoke up, his voice trembling. "High Commander, we've been analyzing their techniques. These humans, they don't just fight. Each of them seems to have mastered multiple forms of combat. They adapt, they strategize mid-fight. It's unlike anything we've ever seen." Meanwhile, in the human camp, the fighters were sharing knowledge and strategies. Jack Morrison was giving pointers to a young capoeira expert, while Sofia Alvarez discussed grappling techniques with a Shui Jiao master from China. "We're stronger together," Sofia remarked to Jack. "Each victory teaches us something new about our opponents." Jack nodded, his eyes scanning the alien side of the arena. "They're getting desperate," he observed. "Look at their next fighter." The alien that stepped into the ring was larger and more heavily muscled than any they had seen before. It was clear the aliens were now sending in their elite warriors in a bid to turn the tide. But even this proved futile against the human onslaught. A former Navy SEAL named Michael Tran faced the behemoth, employing a mix of Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to exploit the alien's weak points and leverage its size against it. The bout ended with the massive alien tapping out, unable to break free from Michael's expertly applied submission hold. As the day's fighting concluded, the scoreboard told a stunning tale: humans 67, aliens 33. The human fighters had not just held their ground, they had dominated the competition. The alien delegation was in disarray. Whispers spread through their ranks, speaking of the humans in tones of both fear and awe. Some even began to question whether challenging Earth had been a grave mistake. High Commander Zix Nara stared at the scoreboard, his multiple eyes blinking in disbelief. "In all our history," he murmured, "we have never encountered a species like this. What manner of creatures are these humans?" As night fell and both sides prepared for the final day of competition, one thing was clear: the aliens' perception of humanity had been irrevocably changed. They had come expecting to find a primitive species, easy to conquer or destroy. Instead, they had encountered a race of warriors whose skill and adaptability defied explanation. The stage was set for a final day of combat that would determine not just the outcome of the gauntlet, but the future relationship between humans and this alien civilization. And as both sides retired to prepare, the question on everyone's mind was: what surprises did humanity have left in store? The final day of the gauntlet dawned with an electric atmosphere. The human fighters, despite their lead, knew that every bout still counted. The aliens, desperate to salvage their pride and rethink their strategy, had saved their most formidable warriors for last. As the crowd settled in, High Commander Zix Nara addressed both sides. "Today we conclude this test of strength and skill. May the final battles reveal the true nature of our species." The first match set the tone for the day. Jack Morrison stepped into the ring, facing an alien that seemed to be made of writhing muscle and sinew. The alien attacked with unprecedented speed and ferocity, clearly having studied human fighting styles.
But Jack was prepared. Drawing on his diverse training, he seamlessly blended techniques from multiple disciplines. One moment he was using Aikido to redirect the alien's energy, the next he was launching into a series of Muay Thai strikes. The alien crowd watched in awe as Jack moved with a fluidity that seemed almost supernatural.
After an intense battle, Jack secured victory with a flying armbar that adapted Brazilian jiu-jitsu techniques to the alien's unique physiology. As he helped his defeated opponent up, murmurs of respect rippled through the alien spectators. The following matches showcased the pinnacle of human martial arts. Sofia Alvarez demonstrated the ground-fighting prowess of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, submitting her alien opponent with a complex series of transitions that left even the human experts amazed. A Shaolin monk named Wei Chen faced one of the alien's most intimidating warriors. The alien towered over Wei, its multiple limbs bristling with threat. But Wei moved like water, his movements a perfect embodiment of the Shaolin principles of balance and harmony. He turned the alien's strength against it, using techniques that seemed to defy gravity. The bout ended with the alien unconscious, while Wei stood calmly in a meditative stance. As the day progressed, the aliens threw everything they had at the humans. They sent in warriors with natural armor, beings that could alter their body density, even fighters that seemed to phase in and out of reality. But for each incredible alien ability, the humans had an answer born from thousands of years of martial arts evolution. A Kalaripayattu master from India used his knowledge of vital points to incapacitate an alien that seemed impervious to pain. A Systema expert from Russia used breathing techniques and subtle movements to outlast an opponent that never seemed to tire. The final bout of the gauntlet featured Lena Okafor once again. Her alien opponent was a being of pure energy, capable of delivering electric shocks with each strike. The alien leaders watched intently, certain that this unbeatable warrior would at least secure one final victory. But Lena had spent the tournament learning, adapting and synthesizing techniques from her fellow fighters. She moved with a grace that belied the danger she faced, her Dambi-trained fists striking with precision while she incorporated footwork from capoeira and grappling techniques from wrestling. In a moment that would be replayed countless times in the years to come, Lena caught the energy being in a spinning throw that combined judo with her native African wrestling. As the alien hit the ground, the impact dispersed its energy form, rendering it unconscious. The arena fell silent. Then, slowly, a sound began to build. It started with the human delegation but soon spread to the alien spectators. Applause, cheers, and sounds of awe filled the air. As Lena raised her fist in victory, the final scores flashed across the arena: humans 98, aliens 2. It was more than a victory, it was a demonstration of martial prowess that defied the aliens' understanding of combat.
High Commander Zix Nara approached the human delegation, his demeanor a mix of disbelief and respect. Never in our history. He began, his voice carrying across the now silent arena. Have we witnessed such a display of skill, adaptability, and warrior spirit? Humans, you have more than earned our respect and our allegiance.
As the reality of their overwhelming victory sank in, the human fighters embraced each other, their joy tinged with the knowledge of what their success meant for Earth and humanity's future in the galaxy. The gauntlet was over, but its impact was just beginning to be felt. Humanity had not just survived, they had redefined the very concept of combat in the eyes of an advanced alien civilization. And as both species prepared for the new era of cooperation that lay ahead, one question lingered in the minds of the alien observers: just what else were these humans capable of? In the days following the gauntlet, Earth buzzed with a mixture of celebration and anticipation. The alien delegation, true to their word, initiated peace talks and began sharing advanced technology with humanity. Scientists and engineers from both species worked side by side, unlocking secrets of the universe that had long eluded human understanding. A week after the final bout, High Commander Zix Nara requested a private meeting with the human fighters and Earth's leaders. The meeting took place in a specially constructed chamber that accommodated both species comfortably. As they settled in, Zixnara's multifaceted eyes scanned the room, lingering on each of the fighters who had so thoroughly impressed and confounded his people. He began, his translated voice filled with a mix of curiosity and respect. You have proven yourselves to be formidable beyond our wildest expectations. We came here believing we would find either allies or a species to subjugate. Instead, we found, well, we're not quite sure what we found. President Chen stepped forward. We hope you found friends and partners, High Commander. Zixnara nodded, a gesture he had picked up from his time on Earth. Indeed, but there is something we must know. How did your species become such masterful combatants? Your techniques, your adaptability, you fought like no other species we've encountered in our millennia of exploration. Jack Morrison exchanged glances with his fellow fighters before addressing the alien leader. What you saw, High Commander, was the result of thousands of years of human history and culture. We call it martial arts. Martial arts, Zixnara repeated, the concept clearly foreign to him. Sofia Alvarez jumped in. Yes, for us, fighting isn't just about survival or dominance. It's a form of expression, a way to connect with our bodies and minds. Some of us train our entire lives to master these arts. The aliens in the room murmured among themselves, clearly struggling to grasp the concept. Lena Okafor added, each style you saw has its own rich history and philosophy. Karate, judo, Muay Thai, capoeira, they're not just techniques, but entire cultural traditions.
As the human fighters began to explain the diversity of martial arts, from the meditative aspects of Tai Chi to the raw power of boxing, the aliens' expressions shifted from confusion to awe.
You mean to tell us, one of the alien scientists interjected, that you have multiple, highly developed systems of combat, each with its own unique approach and principles? Exactly, Wei Chen, the Shaolin monk, replied. And many of us study multiple styles, adapting and combining them to create something uniquely our own. High Commander Zixnara stood silently for a moment, processing this information. When he spoke again, there was a new tone in his voice, one that the humans recognized as a mix of respect and trepidation. In all our travels, we have never encountered a species that views combat as an art form. The skill and dedication this must require, it is both admirable and, I must admit, somewhat terrifying. President Chen stepped in, sensing the aliens' unease. High Commander, while it's true that our martial arts have made us formidable fighters, they also teach discipline, respect, and the importance of using our skills responsibly. Many practitioners view martial arts as a path to personal growth and inner peace. This seemed to reassure Zixnara somewhat. Fascinating. It seems we have much to learn from each other. Your martial arts have not only earned our respect but have opened our eyes to new possibilities. As the meeting concluded and plans were made for further cultural exchanges, it was clear that the revelation of martial arts had profoundly impacted the aliens' perception of humanity. They had come seeking to test humanity's worth through combat, only to discover a species that had elevated fighting to an art form. The human fighters left the meeting knowing that they had not just won a series of battles, but had fundamentally changed the course of human history. As Earth prepared to take its place among the galactic community, it did so not just with new technology and alien allies, but with the knowledge that its unique approach to combat the art of fighting had become one of its most valuable and respected assets in the cosmos. The term martial arts would soon spread across the galaxy, a testament to humanity's ingenuity, dedication, and the indomitable spirit that had allowed them to turn even conflict into a form of artistic expression. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you loved it. Please remember to subscribe if you did like it so you can see more videos like this. And please give us a like and a comment too. I'll see you in the next one.